I speak to people that you may not have heard of, but a lot of people have.
Shoot that eye. Shoot that eye. Shoot that eye. Shoot that eye.
Alright, man. Who am I with?
74WILDCAT, man. King Wild, aka 74WILDCAT.
Okay, where'd you get that name from? How'd you kind of get that name going? Yeah.
Well, King Wild, aka 74WILDCAT. King Wildcat, aka 74WILDCAT, man. It's King because I feel like all the black men, all the brothers, we kings, man, are all right. 74WILDCAT, because 74 was on GD, and Wildcat is a name I got locked up as a teenager because I was just wild as hell, just snapping, trying to destroy everything and shit. And it's my street name, Crazy G. You know, I'm GD, but the Vice Lords start calling me Crazy G because I was a crazy ass GD. They was like, that nigga crazy. And they was just like, man, they ain't know my name. It was like, man, that nigga crazy. They start calling me Crazy G. And it stuck.
Okay, where were you originally born at?
Chicago, Illinois, man, over east, 81st and Mirror.
Who do you currently represent?
I represent Chicago and the Twin Cities, and I'm gonna explain that. In Chicago, because that's where I'm from, but I moved to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul metro area on the St. Paul side. But you know, anybody with any business sense know that if you in the Twin Cities, you gotta, you know, if you in St. Paul or Minneapolis, it's smart to say Twin Cities because I want both. I want all three. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because I'm not going to, you know, obviously some motherfuckers in Chicago going to be like, oh, man, he moved. And some motherfuckers in the Twin Cities going to be like, oh, man, he from Chicago. So I just say, fuck it, I got all three. You don't like it, fuck you.
All right, so when did you move over to the Twin Cities?
I first moved to Twin Cities, I was 7 years old. But I never forgot Chicago because I kept going back. They kept taking me back and forth and back and forth. So I never lost my sense of Chicago. And plus, when you come, it's a lot of people that migrate from Chicago to the Twin Cities, and you get that stamp on you from day one about it, you know, the people and the police, the teachers, whatever, you a Chicago kid. So they done stamped that on me, so I can't get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, Chicago is bigger than just a city. It's outside of Chicago. It's like it's a family, man. You know, you from Chicago, you recognize somebody else from Chicago. And I'm not gonna ever lose my roots. And plus, I got a Chicago car. You think I'm finna get rid of that? Hell fucking no.
Okay, so you say you back and forth. How was that like for you as a child?
I wanted to stay in Chicago, man, because I was crazy. I was a badass little kid. I was bad as fuck. And my parents used to take me out in Chicago with them. My father used to take me all over the place with him. You know, people used to be mad at him for having me in the streets with him, and it gave me a sense of the city, and I wanted to stay there. But, you know, my family was always like, nah, this is not a safe place. Plus, you already bad as hell. We're not gonna let you stay there. And if I would run away and go to Chicago, they'd be like, nah, you're gonna send me back up there for my own, you know, safety, or so I wouldn't get killed or catch life, because I was always into some bad shit. So it was like I was always torn between, you know what I'm saying, two places. But, you know, Chicago is always in my heart. But I have to give respect to the Twin Cities and St. Paul especially. I got to give respect to it because I've seen a lot of people die in the Twin Cities and St. Paul, man. So I can't pretend like, no, I got to give it respect. But I can't never forget Chicago. It is the homeland. It's the motherland.
Okay, so you say you're from Chicago. How was the gang violence or gangs down there?
When I was coming up, it was more organized. The gangs was way more organized in Chicago. It was very violent. They didn't give a fuck if you was a kid or not. You join in, you get caught the wrong way, they'll whack you. Now it's just buck wild. So I don't know. It's always been bad, man. It was always bad. It's always been bad. Period.
How do you feel like the difference between St. Paul, Twin Cities gangs and Chicago gangs?
Chicago gangs are more vicious. The Twin City gangs are more, because it's a lot of money in the Twin Cities, so they violent but a little bit calmer. Chicago gangs, you know, they don't. it's just real. It's the city of Al Capone, man. It's just way more deadly. It's way more dangerous. But the Twin Cities gangs are not no joke neither. We got every gang in Chicago and LA is in the damn Twin Cities. It's baby Chicago, man. It's both dangerous, but Chicago is extremely dangerous because it's just I don't know, the gangs are way more dangerous, man. Way more ruthless in Chicago. But the gangs in the Twin Cities would take your ass out too.
So there was a lot of gangs. So were you ever affiliated, or did you think about joining?
Yeah, I'm GD, I told you.
Oh yeah. So how long have you been GD?
Since I was 11.
What was that like?
It was fun at the time. It was fun. I was like, hell yeah, nigga. You know, what the big homie said do, I did. You know, it was just fun as hell. You know what I'm saying? I got to smoke and sip on liquor and have a gun and ride around, and it was fun. I ain't gonna lie, people might not like it, but it was fun as fuck. You know, I could fuck on bitches and shit. It was fun.
So is there any regrets from joining the gang, or what?
Regrets? It's always regrets in anything you do in life, because you always think I could have did something different. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if I'd have stayed legit, I could be, you know what I'm saying, a lawyer, a doctor or something, but I don't try to look back, man. I just try to look forward, man. You know, it is what the fuck it is, Joe. It is what it is with me. Fuck it.
So joining the gangs and stuff, being in the gang, has that ever got you into prison? Or
yeah, I did a long time in prison. I just did like 14 years in prison. I've been to prison about 3-4 times, and I've been in prison in the federal penitentiary and the state penitentiary in both Minnesota and Florida.
so now that you're out, what are your current goals? Like, how do you plan your future?
I'm just gonna let my story be told through rap and just try to make money and try to keep cordial and keep calm with everything. You know, somebody fuck with me, they gonna get what they got coming. Don't nobody fuck with me, I'm not gonna fuck with them, but I won't be played with at all whatsoever. And then I'm gonna move smooth, and I'm gonna creep and crawl, and I'm gonna handle my business. I'm gonna use my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to my best ability in order to survive as long as I can and make as much money as I can for my family. You know what I'm saying?
So what type of rap do you make, or what do you like to?
Mostly this hedonistic rap. Some of my shit violent. Most of my shit violent, because that's the type of lifestyle I live. That's the things I seen. It's kind of like a message. It really it's a message in my music. Like, this is the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that's what excites me and entertain me, is the violent aspect, and it's just drill, man. I just a lot of people might not like it. It's party rap, cussing, violence, but it has a message in it. You know what I'm saying? The message is, this is real life. You know, some people might not want to hear it, but this is real life for some people. You know what I'm saying? And just because you don't want to hear it, don't mean it shouldn't be said. Just because you feel like this ain't your life, or this ain't the life you want to live, or the life your kids want to live, that don't mean that it needs to be suppressed because you scared of it. You know what I'm saying? Just listen to it, and, you know, just like you watch a crazy, scary movie, or you watch a movie. All right, cool. But don't try to suppress what the fuck I'm saying because you scared, or because you think that's not the right message. Don't censor me because it ain't what the fuck you like. That's how I feel.
How long have you been making that type of rap?
Since I was a kid, man. Because, like I said, my childhood was violent as fuck. My father was a nut, man. You know, he wasn't no creep or nothing like that, but he was just a violent motherfucker sometime, man. I lived a childhood full of violence. And then I would start going to jail. That was extremely violent, obviously. And, you know, that's how I get that out my system, man, through rap, man. That's the story I got to tell. That's my life, man. Like I said, motherfuckers might not feel like, oh my God, why is he set stuff for this? But don't tell me I can't express my story just because you scared of it or you don't think it's what should be said. You know, you don't like it, fuck you, man. Go listen to something else.
Okay. So you say you got like people who don't like your stuff. What is it like? What do you want to say to the haters? And say to them?
It's nothing really to say to haters, man. You know, nothing to say to them, man. You troll with them a little bit, play with them, but you know, they haters. So no matter what you say, they gonna still find a way to hate. That's what they do for some odd reason. It's a lot of different reasons why people hate. You want to hate, well, you know, go right on ahead, but don't think that's gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? Because if hate stopped people, we wouldn't have shit. You know, the most successful people in the world had to fight through haters and naysayers and stuff like that, and they fought through them and they built something. So I'm gonna do the same shit. I'm not gonna let nobody hate me. You hate me, fuck you, fuck you. You know, I hate you too, bitch. Fuck you too.
Do you have any messages for the youth and their goals, like what they want to be in life?
Be yourself. You know, be what you are. Try to be the best you can. You know what I'm saying? Respect God, obviously, but if be whatever you're gonna be, but watch your steps, watch your moves. I don't try to tell the youth, oh man, be a good, you know, apple pie and just be, you know, because people are gonna live their life. Everybody wasn't meant to live the same, and everybody ain't gonna live a perfect life. But my message to the youth is, always use wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If you respect God, use wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. No matter what you're doing, it'll turn out better for you. Whether you're in the street or whether you choose to do this or whether you choose to be a criminal, whether you choose to be a lawyer, doctor, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and respect for God to put you where the fuck you need to be. Without them four things, respect for God, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you fuck. So that's my message to the youth. But I don't really try to tell the youth to, oh man, this is because a lot of youth already got their mind made up what the fuck they want to do. And people try to steer them in certain directions, but they got minds, they got brains. And you know, find out what they own and then try to help them navigate through that. But don't try to make everybody eat, you know what I'm saying, apple pie and drink milk and be all wholesome and shit, because everybody ain't like that. You know, so my message to the youth is do what you're doing with a respect for God, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And whatever the fuck you doing, you'll be all right. Without them four ingredients, you fuck, kid.
I heard you speak about God a couple times. Do you have a religion or what?
I'm Muslim, but I ain't the best Muslim, so I don't like broadcast it like that because I don't want to bring a bad face to Islam, because I was more about it when I came to prison. I learned the Islam when I was in prison, and I was more devout about it. You know what I'm saying? But they call it on your deen, and I was more on my deen when I was in prison. But you know, like I said, it's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? But I don't make that the face of me, because there are very good Muslims out there who need to be the face of Islam, and I allow them to do that because I never want to bring a bad face to Islam. Because there's people that hate Islam and they'll be like, look at that Muslim, and I don't want nobody to use me as a bad example for Islam. But I believe in God. I believe in Allah.
Okay, what caused you to be Muslim?
I was just pulled into it, man. I just felt the pull, man. I just felt the pull. I can't explain it, man. You know what I'm saying? It pull you in, man. It's just, I can't explain it. Anybody that been pulled in Islam tell you there comes a point where you know that no matter what you do, this is the way. It's just truth and knowledge, man. It's just, it's just pure truth. You just ain't nothing nobody can say, and you just feel it in your heart, man. Period.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to a previous question I said. So about GD, does that have a meaning? What's the
Well, GD is growth and development, but it's gangster disciple too. Started as gangster disciple. The history of GD, you know the history of GD. I'm pretty sure you know. I asked you, we was discussing this, you know what I'm saying, off camera, and you know the history of GD. GD is gangster disciple. It's growth and development. It's whatever you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? We growth and development. We can be positive and get on building things, but if you get on that shit with us, you know, we're going to take that mask off and it's going to be gangster disciple. You know what I'm saying? And people talk bad about GD and this, that, and the third. It's for us to be a strong people and make something of ourselves and defend ourselves if necessary. You know, it ain't always gonna be pretty, man. And, you know, that's life.
All right, thank you for answering my questions. I'm here with 74, aka Wildcat. That's your name?
74 Wildcat.
74 Wildcat. Thank you.
All right.